This is a coconut, the fruit of the tree of life and one we can't do without, whether it's for our rice and curry, a refreshing drink, or even some household goods made from the husk. The coconut was named by the Portuguese in the 16th century because the three holes on the coconut looked like cocoa, a laughing face. The word nut was added later. But here's the thing, the coconut is not a nut after all. It is a stone fruit. As we celebrate World Coconut Day this week, just remember, this versatile tree has fed us humans for nearly 2,000 years. Welcome to Kaleidoscope with me, Savithri Rodrigo. A big thank you to our partners on board, Skills for Inclusive Growth, Srilanka Life and CDB. You are what keeps us going. Thank you. If you like Kaleidoscope, don't miss out on our weekly show. Subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn.
Did you know you can open a digital fixed deposit with just 5,000 rupees? Open a CDB iDeposit digital fixed deposit today. CDB, your friend.
Here's our weekly roundup on CDB Snapshot. It's been a good week for Sri Lanka. The IMF reached a staff-level agreement to support Sri Lanka with a 48-month arrangement under an extended fund facility of $2.9 billion. At the Colombo Stock Exchange, the all-share price index hit 9,300 for the first time this quarter and was up by 5% this week, with the average daily turnover being 2.7 billion rupees. WTI oil came down below $89 per barrel. But in the meantime, gold prices hit a 6-week low this week as US dollar rose and central banks were expected to make aggressive interest rate hikes to counter surging inflation. Earnings from merchandise exports increased by 2.25% year-on-year to $1,128.7 million in July. Apparel and textiles are the highest contributors. August inflation increases to 64.3% from 60.8% in July this year. The Sri Lankan government opts to sell a 49% stake in Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lankan Catering and Ground Handling. Srilanka Life acquires the 120-bed King's Hospital in a significant diversification of its investment portfolio, heralding the next growth phase for King's. And now for a quick roundup of the budget presented this week. VAT increases from 12% to 15%. Compulsory tax registration for all residents above 18 years, phase out para-tariffs to enhance exports and FDIs, renewable energy sources to be expanded, import duty concessions to promote local packaging, tax concessions for the manufacture of electric bikes, 20% shareholding of state banks to be allotted to depositors and employees, and private sector investments sought to develop railways.
Making all your new goals in life a reality is why our strength is your strength. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Srilanka Life.
Welcome. You're watching Kaleidoscope Srilanka Life News Capsule. In the last 5 years, the IT and business process management industry achieved a commendable average annual growth of 23%. The industry has a vision to achieve $5 billion in exports by 2025, which also means doubling the workforce to 200,000. There are also plans to launch 1,000 startups to spur new companies, ideas and innovations. Chairman of Slascom, Ashik Ali, was in our studio discussing the drive to grow the IT and business process management industry. Ashik, in reaching your goal of $5 billion in exports, where are we falling short right now?
Mainly the supply is the issue. Young talent coming into the industry. We see a lot of talent-related migration, especially to countries in Australia, Canada, UK. So we are losing a lot of mid-tier people. So this is one of the key things that we need to address right now.
So you are planning on doubling your workforce. How?
One is we need to create aspirations for our young people that the industry has a lot of opportunities. And this is an industry which pays really well, considering the fact that there is job security here, ample opportunities, the demand is here, and there has never been a situation even throughout COVID and until recently, where there has been unemployment in the industry. Early next year, we are planning this mega career fair all to attract almost 100,000 people, and that will set a platform. It's just not one-off career fair, it will be setting a platform for a continued program to attract, train, qualify and get people into the industry.
Ashik, SASCOM is planning on branding Sri Lanka's IT BPM industry as the island of ingenuity and also as a green IT destination. Now, how are you planning on doing this?
The Island of Ingenuity actually was launched back in 2018 as part of the National Export Strategy. Unfortunately, we didn't have that much of a budget to go global with the brand. The brand has three value propositions. One is a talent to attract foreign companies to come and set up here their delivery innovation centers. The second is to inspire companies here to create their own intellectual property and look at regional and global markets. The third aspect is we are geographically positioned as a gateway to South Asia, if you will, to very large, populous and fast growing markets in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So we would ideally like companies all over the world, especially startups and mid-tier companies, to come into Sri Lanka and use this as a base to go into these fast growing markets. This will attract a lot of capital as well as provide employment opportunities for our people.
There's been much discussion about growing organic. While Sri Lanka has reverted to chemical fertilizer, there's one man who holds firm to his belief that Sri Lanka can go 100% organic. The MD and CEO of Greenman Natural, Keith Muller. Keith, Greenman Natural is driving for 100% organic produce. How challenging is that process?
Greenman is a nano chelated fertilizer, technologically advanced. When you talk about technology, we talk about efficiency. It has addressed how fast the nutrients can get to the plant, how well it can protect the soil biology, while making it cost effective and efficient to the farmer, at the same time protecting the environment and making sure the product which is treated with Greenman is non-toxic and absolutely safe for human consumption.
So what should be in place to drive this change?
We need lots of awareness, both at national and school level, to educate the people how important healthy food is. This also could be achieved by bringing in legislation to protect the soil.
How would you apply technology into your green practices?
It's very challenging, as we have to convince and change the mindset of farmers that using the correct organic fertilizer, they can achieve the same crop result as if they used chemical fertilizer.
Talk about happy feet. Lucas, a lonely 4-year-old penguin at San Diego Zoo, had a painful foot infection that caused his fellow penguins to avoid him. He is now fitted with customized orthopedic shoes, allowing him to waddle again with style. If you want to read but just don't have the time, we will gift you a speed reading program with Sanjeev and you'll be reading 4 times faster in no time. Just let us know and the gift is yours. Up next, Jehan Kanagaratna on S4IG Let's Talk. The Sri Lankan leopard is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, with less than 800 mature leopard estimated to be alive. Encroaching on their habitat and poaching have exacerbated the human-leopard conflict, and in the last 2 years alone, about 24, including a rare back leopard, were killed. 90% of these killings occur in the tea plantations. Efforts to raise awareness on leopard conservation among the plantation community is an uphill climb. But the Wildlife and Nature Protection Society and Rainforest Alliance have begun a groundbreaking project. On S4IG Let's Talk today is the President of the Wildlife and Nature Protection Society and Consultant for Rainforest Alliance, Jehan Kanagaratna. We always talk about the human-elephant conflict, but there's very little discussion about the human-leopard conflict. What triggers it and how bad is it?
The human-leopard conflict it's not in the realms of what happens in India, but in Sri Lanka we are seeing in the last 3-4 years, we're seeing a lot of deaths of leopards, specifically in the upcountry, in the hill country. A lot of the reasons are it's because of its habitat loss and the fact that its prey is being poached far much higher than what it was before.
So leopard are apex predators, which means they are essential to the functioning of our ecosystem. What is the impact that poaching and killing of leopards actually have on humans?
They are one of the predators that take out the pests that we consider for our vegetation. The main animal being the wild boar, which becomes a big problem for our human vegetation and that aspect. So it's one of the leopard's key prey species and one of that it likes. So taking the leopard out means the growth of the population of those animals will increase, which creates a bigger problem.
So WNPS and Rainforest Alliance have begun this training program for volunteers from plantations on leopard conservation. Now, workers from the estates are from underprivileged families and probably they have no idea about the importance of keeping this ecosystem going. How challenging has it been to get this message across?
One of the key challenges that we have understood is even they don't know what a leopard looks like, and they have a problem of thinking it's a tiger. So there's a lot of misconception about what actually the leopard looks like, because a lot of them haven't seen one. So a lot of the challenges it's an unknown to them. So they think, even a fishing cat is a leopard. So that's the challenge that we had to say, no, leopards are not looking to kill humans, and that's not their prey species. It's not in their DNA to chase a human. So, but you don't challenge a leopard anywhere. So the program is done in a way that it's taken to the level where they understand. There's a lot of animation in the program that we do, and we also make it interactive so that we ask them to come forward, choose 5 of them, tell them to hold their breath, and then say, okay, if you start cutting trees, this is what's going to happen, right? So, and then if you don't have forests, you're not going to have leopards, and if you have no leopards, you're going to have more wild boar in your property. So we link everything together.
So what plans do you have on cascading the message across the island maybe?
It's a different problem in the estates as well as what you would see in a dry zone, like in Yalo or Vilpattu or in those areas. So the program that we are doing in the estates is that we would like to get it to as many estate workers as possible. Our target is the estate sector, because that's where we don't know enough of the leopard that lives there.
So Jahan, it's been most interesting chatting with you. I do hope your project gets the traction it deserves. We need those leopards. They are not only beautiful, but they are also essential to our survival. On Kaleidoscope's Life in 60 today is fashion stylist Sandra De Silva, who uses art, street style and even the future of architecture to spark her creative style for fashion with a twist.
The sun is shining, meaning it's time to soak up the fashion trends 2022 endless summer season. This season really does have it all. The summer-ready bright chic detailing are my go-to minimal jewelry pieces. Reminds me the joy of styling designs with a twist. Indicates a dose of optimism. I added a pop of color to accessorize a bold bright bag with a neutral tone dress. Having had the thrilling exposure of styling and modeling festival lehenga sets for Fusion 14 and deconstructing a tie-dye dress for brand Soiree was so much fun to style. As I continue to collaborate with fashion brands and featuring their latest collection on my e-magazine Fashion Trends, I look forward to creating strong networking skills as a stylist to develop a client base with designers and industry professionals connecting with authentic ethical brands. I love to take positive steps towards a more sustainable way of living.
As you apply some coconut butter to give your skin some vitality on World Coconut Day, just remember our Kaleidoscope takeaway. The purpose of our lives is to be happy.